Do you buy travel insurance when you travel or cruise? If not, you might want to reconsider when you hear my story of a medical evacuation from a cruise ship on a remote Caribbean island. Stay tuned. Hi, this is Sandy from Sandy Over 70. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and click the little bell so you can be notified when I post new videos. A medical evacuation is probably the last thing you have on your mind when you get on a cruise ship to start your vacation. Unfortunately, that's exactly what happened to us. A number of years ago, I booked a 7-day cruise to the Southern Caribbean on Holland America's Westerdam. One of the stops would be the private island Half Moon Cay, followed by visits to Aruba and Curacao. It never occurred to me that we would get no further than the private island. After boarding, we unpacked and then attended the safety drill. Then we came back and started getting ready for dinner. We were planning to meet our friends in the dining room. That's when my husband developed chest pain. Now, he had had a 5-way bypass 5 years prior to the cruise, so of course we were concerned. I called the medical office and they said to bring him down. In any case, my husband took a nitroglycerin and started to feel a little better. He refused to go to the medical office, but I must say even he looked a bit worried. The next morning, we made our first stop at the remote private island Half Moon Cay, located 100 miles southeast of Nassau in the Bahamas. At breakfast, my husband debated whether to leave the ship, as we would be at sea for the next 3 days before arriving in Aruba. They would not be able to evacuate him from the ship during that time, so if it was serious, his life would be in danger. After breakfast, he decided to leave. We went to the medical center and told the staff. They told us that if he had not left on his own, the captain would have ordered him to do so. The nurse took him to a large treatment room designed to handle major emergencies, started an IV, and got him ready for transport. He got the ball rolling with the insurance company. I asked for and received a tour of the facility, and as a former emergency department nurse, I was quite impressed. Meanwhile, I went to our cabin and packed. They offered the assistance of a staff member, but I knew I could pack better myself. I threw things in those bags with lightning speed. When the bags were ready, crew members took them away. As soon as arrangements were complete, they secured my husband on a stretcher. Once off the ship, they transferred him to a tram where he sat on one of the benches. We took a 20-minute bumpy ride across the island to a small, secluded beach. At that point, they transferred my husband back to the stretcher and carried him to the sand beach. A seaplane would be landing in a few minutes. The seaplane glided onto the surface of the ocean and stopped offshore. The crew rolled up their pant legs and carried our luggage on board, then carried and secured the stretcher inside the seaplane. I rolled up my pant legs, took off my shoes, and waded out to join them. Stepping clumsily onto the pontoon, I proceeded up the steps. There was just room for the nurse, the patient, me, our bags, plus the pilot. We flew a short distance to the Rock Sound International Airport in Eleuthera, Bahamas, population 961. The staff transferred us to a Learjet air ambulance with 2 new pilots, nurse, and a paramedic. It was slightly larger but still compact. In about 45 minutes, we arrived at the Fort Lauderdale, Florida International Airport, where an ambulance was waiting to transport us to the hospital. All went smoothly, though we had to wait a bit for an emergency cardiac catheterization at the hospital. While we waited, the company contracted by the travel insurance company to do the evacuation kept in touch with me by phone to smooth the way. The cardiac catheterization showed that one of the 5 bypasses had closed, but this was not life-threatening, so we could be discharged the next day. I tried to change my return flight, but the airline said that nothing was available. When I told the evacuation company representative, she said she would take care of it, and she did. She scheduled us to leave the following day. So, should you buy travel insurance? Well, my opinion is absolutely. We had 3 different insurance policies, and it still took a year for them to process everything. They kept fighting over who was going to pay for what, but in the end, they paid for every single penny. The air ambulance alone cost $19,000. If this video was helpful to you, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching and have a great day.